I am so very high.
Three.
I am so very high.
Holy shit.
Oh no! Here we go.
3, 2, 1. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna need everybody to shut the fuck up.
Hey, did you ever see that movie? Did you ever see that movie? Did you ever see that movie?
Showtime. Welcome to Hey, did you ever see that movie? I'm your host, Des, and as always, I'm joined by my potty-mouthed co-host, Lynn.
Bass.
And joining us again, the podcaster with a fully packed bong and a hot cup of coffee, Pat.
Nice bird. Pretty bird.
Okay. This week we will be discussing the 1994 buddy comedy Dumb and Dumber, directed by Peter Farrelly, written by the Farrelly brothers.
Farrelly.
There's not one episode he doesn't get a name right.
Oh,
Every
fuck.
one he gets a name wrong.
We literally have talked about the Farrelly brothers on this podcast, and he still doesn't get it right.
And it's scripted.
Starring Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. As always, this movie will contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it, then come back and listen to the podcast. And now it's time for another installment of Disasterpiece Theater. So sit back and enjoy the show. Welcome to Disasterpiece Theater, where me and my two co-hosts will act out one scene from the movie that we are reviewing for you this evening. So please, sit back, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the show.
Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
You want an atomic pepper, Mr. Mentolino?
Oh, geez, there with your little atomic peppers, huh?
What the hell did you just say? That's not even on the script.
Keep going.
I'll do it if you do it, Lloyd.
Okay, if you go first.
No way. You go first.
No, you go first.
No, you go first.
You go first.
I always go first.
Oh, geez, yeah, huh? Oh, you two meatheads. Go ahead and do it at the same time, eh?
That sounds like a dare, Harry.
Geez, it's a double dare already, huh?
Yeah? Okay. You're on.
Not so bad.
It's you. It's more tingly than hot. That's your line.
It's more tingly than hot.
Cut! Cut! Cut!
All right. Let's hash this out. Dylan was clearly doing Pee Wee Herman.
For a second, and then I lost it.
Pat, I have no idea what you're doing.
It was kind of a goofy from Disney, but it sucked.
And you fucking missed all your lines.
Dude, I missed the last line because I didn't realize I had to scroll up on the screen.
Jesus. And do you guys know who I was doing?
Oh, absolutely. That was Archie Bunker.
That was Archie Bunker. It
But
wasn't a great Archie Bumper. I was giving it
But
my
you
all.
threw me when you went off script because I had no idea what you were saying because I'm reading the script and I'm like, what the fuck is he saying?
Yeah, by now you should realize I am not going by the script.
Well, you didn't let me know that ahead of time.
You've been informed.
You've been informed. Consider yourself informed. Okay.
Wonderful.
It is now time for Dez's 4-in-1 fun and one fake fact, where it will be up to my two co-hosts to decide which fact is total bullshit. Okay. After scamming Seabass to pay the bill, Lloyd says he saw the trick on a movie once. The movie he is speaking of is Something Wild, And the guy who pulls the scam was played by Jeff Daniels. What the fuck was that in the background?
Me putting the dog out.
Okay. Number 2, the Farley brothers didn't want Jeff Daniels for the part of Harry, but Jim Carrey wanted him. So to ensure a no from Daniels, the Farley brothers offered him a measly $50,000 for the part, and he accepted it without hesitation. Number 3, Jim Carrey chipped his tooth years earlier and had the cap removed from the film for his character to look more deranged. Number 4, Jim Carrey was originally offered $700,000 to appear in the film. But after Pet Detective went to number 1 at the box office, his price tag was inflated to $7 million, half the budget of the film. And number 5, Jim Carrey offered Jeff Daniels $250,000 cash after shooting of the film was completed, knowing that he was only getting paid $50,000 by the studio for his brilliant performance. Pat, which of the 5 facts do you think is bullshit? Okay, and Delyn, which of the 5 facts do you think is bullshit?
I agree. I was going to say number 5.
You guys are both correct. It is number 5. That cheap motherfucker. I thought Jim Carrey was a little bit nicer of a guy than that. Can you believe he took $7 million and gave Jeff Daniels nothing? Jeff Daniels got paid $50,000 for this part.
Had Jeff Daniels done any kind of movie before this?
If you were listening, he did a movie called Something Wild.
That was it. Right. That was it.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Okay, now I understand this was very early in his career, so now I understand the 50,000 a lot more.
Yeah, but $50,000, that's fucking ridiculous,
That's
man.
chump change. People have lunch for that in the movies these days.
Before we get started, I would like to say one thing, and I was going to hold this fact back, but I'm going to go ahead and share it with the world. Lloyd Christmas is my father. This is my father. He even looks a little like him. So go ahead.
That kind of explains a few things.
I guess.
Doesn't it, though?
Yeah, it does.
After a woman leaves a briefcase at the airport terminal, a dumb limo driver and his dumber friend set out on a hilarious cross-country road trip to Aspen to return it.
Man, you labored through that fucking sentence.
I did not. Woo! Give me a thank
Well
you, Pat.
done.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you, Pat.
All right.
Thank you, Pat.
Oh.
Anything to Des. It was horrible, but I had to take your side.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. Here we go. Lloyd Christmas, played by Jim Carrey, is a simple-minded limousine driver in Providence, Rhode Island, who becomes infatuated with his passenger, Mary Swanson, played by Lauren Holly, as he drives her to the airport. Mary is headed home to her family in Aspen, Colorado, but leaves a briefcase at the airport. Lloyd notices and retrieves the briefcase before a pair of thugs, played by Mike Starr and Karen Duffy, arrive to pick it up. Dashing ahead of them to snatch this, and he snags the briefcase. Lloyd is unable to catch Mary in time and falls off the end of the jetway onto the runway.
Awesome.
Right.
It's a nice little opening here.
Yeah. So I want to start off by saying that I hadn't seen this movie in a while. And Pat, you've never seen it, correct?
That's right. I've seen it twice.
Okay. So I'm a Jim Carrey fan. I've always been a Jim Carrey fan. And I feel like this is Jim Carrey at his very, very best. Because this
Comedy-wise.
is a very comedy-wise, correct. Comedy-wise.
Was this his first or second movie?
This is after Ace Ventura.
Okay, so this would be his second movie. So
This is after Ace Ventura?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the reason
right.
why he was
Yeah.
able to get $7 million for it.
Okay, correct.
Because Ace Ventura was a hit.
Yeah. So
and that was his first movie?
I mean, it was probably his first big role. I think he did. Oh no, he did In Living Color. Remember all those years?
That's
Fire
why.
Marshal Bill
Well,
and
that's
all
what I'm
that?
saying this because
Yeah.
there are scenes in this movie that my mind just flashed right back to In Living Color and the fireman chief that he played. Let me tell you something.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
And
Yeah, Fire Marshal Bill.
Fire
Yeah.
Marshal Bill.
Fire
That's
Marshal
it.
Bill.
And that's all I saw when Lloyd just was saying something ultra silly or ultra pathetic or just the sounds and noises. I just went right back to In Living Color.
Well, a lot of his comedy parts, in my opinion, are very similar. You know, Ace Ventura, Fireman, fucking Dan, or whatever the fuck his name
Fire
is.
Marshal Bill.
Fire Marshal Bill. So a lot of these characters all kind of mirror each other. But what I liked about Lloyd Christmas was it had a very innocent feel to it. Like there were moments when he would tear up and he would get emotional. And even when he was acting dumb, it had um a very genuine feel to it. So I was really buying the character of Lloyd Christmas, where Harry, I thought Jeff Daniels did a good job, but it didn't feel like he had flushed the character out completely before they started shooting. And he was kind of slipping in and out of the role for me. And Jim Carrey was just nailing it so hard that I'm not saying I didn't enjoy Jeff Daniels' performance, because I did. And I thought it was fine. And he played a nice foil to Lloyd. But Jim Carrey was fucking on point for this movie.
Oh, Lloyd definitely outshined Harry.
This is literally in his Jim Carrey, like the nexus, the thing that so he did In Living Color from 1990 to 1994. Ace Ventura is 1994. The Mask is 1994. Dumb and Dumber is 1994. So like this is like
this is fresh out of In Living Color. 3 movies.
This is basically and it, like he had done a bunch of other movies beforehand with like small parts. He was in Earth Girls Are Easy as one of the aliens and stuff like that. But
right, but not a major player
for the most part. Yeah, this is the like Ace Ventura. He got Ace Ventura because of In Living Color, and then it just rolled in from there.
Yeah, he borrowed a lot. The directors and Carrey borrowed a lot from Ace Ventura that's in this movie. I won't get to it. There's a couple of scenes we'll get to that are almost taken scene for scene from Ace Ventura 2 later on in the movie, and this is going to be in the Kung Fu fight scene.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
I mean,
no, I've never seen any of the Ace Ventura movies.
Ace Ventura 2 came out in 1995, though. So this came out before Ace Ventura 2.
Okay, so then Ace Ventura 2 borrows from the restaurant scene where he
the
fights
Kung Fu fight.
That's the note I made. That
scene for
fight
scene. Scene for scene.
Right. All the sounds, the motions, everything. As soon as that scene started, when he was getting ready to fight, everything he did was all in living color.
Right. Yeah, no, there's a scene where he fights a tribal guy in the jungle, and it's the exact same scene. They just take out the tribal guy and put in the fucking chef, and it's the same scene.
That doesn't surprise me, because the point in the fight when he's swinging his arms over his head like a monkey.
Yes. Oh yeah.
I'm like, I saw something like that before, maybe in a preview or a trailer.
Yes.
But as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, I've seen that before.
Yeah, because it's taken right from Ace Ventura 2. This opening scene. So I wasn't a fan of the opening scene with Jeff Daniels with the dogs. I don't know, man. It was all right. It just wasn't brilliant, But the opening scene, I mean, right from put the shrimp on the barbie and and it's just, you got to watch out. There's a lot of bad drivers on the road. I put 2 and 2 together.
Oh, I know it. Oh, everything. He was so backwards, stupid. I mean, I thought it was clever when he opens the rear window and he's pretending that he's the passenger, only be discovered that he's the driver.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that was clever. And then I realized he wasn't really clever, because he mistaked Austria for Australia, and everything he said, thinking she was from Australia, just made me laugh.
Oh, and there's so many geological jokes in this. Geographical.
Yeah, geological is rocks, honey.
Yeah, well, that's what's in his head.
Yeah, there's a lot of geographical jokes in this that are pretty funny. Yeah, so great.
I'm just going to quickly point out in the scene with Jeff Daniels and the dogs, Lynn Shay pops up as the dog owner who was in Kingpin.
Roy Munson's landlady.
Yeah, and it's Magna too. Yep. So she always pops up in the Ferrelli movies.
Yeah, and also the bartender at the lodge when Lloyd is waiting for Mary, who's never going to come.
Right.
That bartender is the guy with the bowling alley from Kingpin.
Oh my God, that's right. I knew he looked familiar.
Yeah, Captain Eyeliner.
Captain Eyeliner.
Yes. So
Wait a minute. You're talking about the guy with the streak in his hair?
Yes.
The guy I called a raccoon?
Yes, the raccoon. That's the bartender.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what is it? I thought he was someone else, but now I'm picturing the same face with the eyeliner, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's him.
Yeah, the Farrelly brothers like to bring a lot of same stars in.
That's 5 different ways you've said their name, and not one of them was right.
It's the fucking. I think it's the Farley brothers.
Farrelly.
Well, I just said it. Just said Farrelly.
No, you didn't.
No,
You said
didn't.
Farrelly.
You knock. What did I say?
Not.
You a knock. Yeah. So anyway, so you guys have any other thoughts on these opening scenes? I thought it was
Actually,
fucking
the
phenomenal.
one thing I did find that I found amusing was when Jeff Daniels is driving down the road and he's calling out to see who gets what sandwich.
Yeah.
And each dog comes up, grabs it, and then he comes, who foot long? Who's got the foot long? And the little Shih Tzu shows up. He's a nice try, rascal. Get back there.
Yeah, it's all right.
We'll see. They got their money's worth out of the ketchup and mustard in this movie.
You know,
Oh,
the
yeah.
first time I watched a movie, I didn't recognize the ketchup and mustard bottles rolling around on the floor.
Yeah.
All I saw was the dogs covered with ketchup and mustard, and I thought to myself, how the hell did that happen? But when I watched it again, I'm like, oh, that's how it happened.
Yeah.
So I had a laugh out loud moment, a couple of them. So one, when he asks for the hug at the airport, gives the hug.
Oh yeah,
and
that was great.
pushes the finger against her lips. No words, And she's, he's driving. He's like, my love. He fucking rear ends the car.
Yeah.
And when the airbag
Yes.
inflates, it sounded like somebody punched him in the face.
And so this is where I get my major laugh. So he notices the briefcase on the ground and she's walking away and he's fighting this airbag to get out.
The airbag, can't get free.
I'm fucking laughing so hard while
That
he's
was
fighting
great.
this airbag. He's putting on some amazing physical comedy here, which he does throughout this movie. Really, really good. And then when he's running through the airport and he's going, it's okay, I'm a limo driver. Coming through, people. Baggage coming through. This is Ace Ventura. Again, This is taken straight from an Ace Ventura movie. In fact, it's the beginning of Ace Ventura, where he's got the package. He's pretending to be a UPS delivery guy so he can go and steal a dog back. And he's going, UPS coming through with a package, people. And it's the exact same scene.
Well, this is just Jim Carrey. This is who he is. So when they write these characters, he plays them the same way, same kind of bumbling lunatic.
Yes. Yeah, good stuff though. I mean, this movie, and I know people are going to disagree with me on this. I feel like, and I don't know who it is, but I feel like there was a better Harry out there. Actor. I just feel like there was somebody that might have brought something a little different. Harry, it's Jeff Daniels just starts to, I don't know, man. It's just almost not working, but it is. Do you guys agree?
I agree.
He wasn't as insane as Lloyd. So it was like he was more of the level-headed one, but not even close to being level-headed of the two.
It wasn't that. It was just felt like his comedic timing wasn't on par with Jim Carrey.
No, it wasn't. Jim Carrey was much more the artist of the laugh.
And the character, like I said, it wasn't quite flushed out like Jim Carrey's. Like I just wasn't believing it to be a real person, where Jim Carrey just was on. Now, Jeff Daniels did have a couple of scenes that were very subtle that I'm sure you guys missed. Like when they're in the apartment, in this beginning part, when they both come home from work, and Lloyd's trying to sell him on, Aspen, the salmon of they flock like salmon.
I've got that whole scene written down, so don't misplace it. I can refer word for word.
Okay, so in that scene, though, the camera quickly pans over to Harry as he's talking about the salmon of Capistrano, right?
Right.
And Harry makes a look like, what? That's not right. So Harry's not quite a moron.
Right.
No, he knows how to read.
Yes, he can read.
I feel like you're trying to say something here.
Maybe. No,
Okay.
that was probably one of the funniest scenes for me, and I had to write it down. I watched it a couple of times and paused it so I could write it down.
So here's a fun fact. So salmon don't flock as fish. So this is obviously a made up line. The actual truth is what happens is the white buffalo actually flock to Capistrano once a year.
Oh dear God! Somebody make it stop.
That's true. That's
No,
true.
it isn't.
That's true. White buffalo flock to the Capistrano.
Dude, you need to get help. Seriously, get help.
I wanted to see if I could sell that bullshit to you guys.
Oh my God. Dude, I'm so high right now and you couldn't get that past me.
All right, next scene. Let's go. Let's keep going.
Oh my God. Just so you know, they're swallows, you idiot.
Yes, swallow.
She swallows?
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
God. See, the best thing that I liked about that scene was Lloyd just goes off on a rant and everything he said made no sense.
Oh, yeah.
Someplace warm, a place where the beer flows like wine, where beautiful women instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano. Aspen. And Harry goes, oh, I don't know, Lloyd. The French are assholes.
French are assholes.
And I was like, oh my God. Not only did they confuse Aspen in France, but Lloyd thinks Aspen was in California.
Yeah,
yeah.
and when Lloyd is having his little daydream while he's driving of meeting up with Mary, it's in a tropical oasis with palm trees and yeah, these guys are fucking lost and I love it.
All right. So Harry Dunn, played by Jeff Daniels, is Lloyd's roommate. He's in the pet grooming business and has recently spent his life savings converting his Econoline van into a sheepdog. Both Lloyd and Harry quickly lose their jobs due to entirely preventable accidents, and the two are distraught over the situation. Thinking Lloyd is a professional hired by the Swansons or maybe an FBI agent, the thugs that have been watching him exact revenge on Harry and Lloyd. Shortly after returning home, Lloyd and Harry are alarmed by the thugs at their door, one of them being armed. Believing them to be debt collectors, the two escape through their back window with the briefcase. While the pair are out looking for new jobs, the thug behead Harry's parakeet. After they return home, Lloyd goes out to purchase some beer and other goods, but ends up getting robbed by a sweet old lady on a motorized cart. Unhappy with life in Providence, Lloyd insists to Harry that they should leave their messed up lives in Providence behind and head for Aspen to return the briefcase to Mary. Harry is at first skeptical of the idea, but agrees to do so after being persuaded by Lloyd. They leave the next day, and the thugs learn of their intentions. Note that they leave on the door telling them where they're going.
The dear gas man.
Oh God. So what do you guys think here? And I'm not going to take credit for this because I did hear this somewhere else. But so you've got the ectoplasma mobile in Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
You've got the DeLorean. You've got the Batmobile. What do we think of the Shaggin' Wagon? I mean, is it an iconic car?
I mean, you know what it is the minute you see it. If you went to get gas and you saw that car, you'd know exactly where you knew it.
Well, this is a good time to bring up the point I made. As they're traveling, a lot of this was shot in Rhode Island, and
Yes.
the camera from the helicopter following the van goes past the big blue bug.
Yes, it does.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, that's real. And now
yeah.
imagine this. Imagine you're driving 95 south and you're coming down the road, you're singing to the music, and you see this friggin' rolling dog on the highway. How do you not get into an accident?
So Pat, I think the listeners want to know. You're driving down the road. What music are you singing to? What's the song?
Go to hell.
Okay. That's an AC/DC song, in case you didn't know.
Yes, I'm sure it is, but that's not what I meant.
So the Farrelly brothers, they do like to
Yeah, you got it right.
I was actually trying to get it wrong.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
Holy shit, man.
You
Now
are
that's one in a
seriously
million.
dyslexic tonight.
Okay, so the Farrelly brothers actually write a lot of stories around Rhode Island, you'll notice.
Because they're from Rhode Island.
I was just going to say, aren't they from Rhode
Okay.
Island?
Yeah, because there's the other one with Jim Carrey, where he plays the state trooper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me, myself, and Irene.
And Irene,
Me, myself,
yes.
and Irene. Yeah, not a great movie, but okay. So when he goes to the newspaper to get the newspaper, did you guys notice what paper he was trying to get?
Yes, that would be Rhode Island Slut.
Island Slut.
And the funniest part about it is the idiot loses his wallet in it.
Oh God, dude, that's something I would do. That's something I would do 100%.
Oh,
We also have to
absolutely.
mention that the reason why he's coming back and even has a chance to pick up this newspaper is because he's coming back from the store with quote unquote just the essentials.
Like the cowboy hat, the paddle ball, and let's not forget the pinwheels stuck in the top of the beer cases.
Yeah, we make this joke all the time. Dylan will always be like, I'll go, so just the essentials.
Yeah, we'll go to the store to get something, and like I'll be like walking up and down the aisles getting food and stuff, and he comes over to me with like a stack of stuff and throws it in and I'm like, oh, just the essentials, huh?
So
You gotta keep him on a tether like a kid.
I wish.
Yeah. So
It's not that easy.
I've got this fucking gigantic TV here in my little man studio that's very expensive.
Studio now. Studio. Okay.
My
Well,
man studio.
okay, well, he does have a mic and he is wearing headphones, so I guess you
Gi-
can call it a studio.
Gigantic, very expensive, very large TV. So I bought this fucking $19 fucking little what is it,
Drone.
honey? A
A
little
drone.
drone at Walmart.
I heard about this.
One of the essentials, just the essentials.
Just
So
the essentials. Of
we
course.
got the little drone. So I'm sitting on my couch, like laying down, watching TV. Playing with this little fucking drone. And there's a button on it. It says stunt. I'm like, oh, what's that? I hit the stunt button. The thing did a flip and went straight into fucking my TV screen. Hit it so hard, I was sure I had smashed this TV. Fortunately, it just left 4 little blade marks on it that you can't see while the TV is on. But yeah, it was almost a disaster.
Dylan,
What?
get a tether.
If only that would work. If
Put
only
him in
that
a
would work.
harness.
Oh,
He's
God.
small enough. Sit him in the carriage.
Small enough.
His little legs dangling.
Oh, yeah. And he'll get the opportunity to kick you back.
Oh God. Just
Oh,
what we need. All right, Mr. Gasman.
Ah,
How did they know I've got gas? Okay.
they were the most inept bad guys.
Ever.
Just to
Ever.
think that Lloyd and Harry were pros because of the note to the gas company. Really? How? I mean, I thought Lloyd and Harry were stupid. Half the characters in this movie were stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Again, when Lloyd gives the speech to Harry, convincing him, they need to go to Aspen.
France.
It's a really like for a movie that's this dumb and characters that are written this dumb, he's showing some real depth. I mean, this is a very good scene for Jim Carrey. He wells up, he gets sad. I'm feeling it. Like I don't feel like I'm watching a dumb, jokey character play sad. I feel like I'm watching a good actor acting sad. And it really played that way. And that's why I really was buying this character of Lloyd Christmas. It was a deep layered character that Jim Carrey obviously had completely flushed out before shooting started. And it was really working for me. And I love when he starts crying and he starts like wallowing. And,
And Harry grabs him. Let it all out.
Harry is like, all right, that's enough.
That's enough. That
And
was
did you
that
guys
was a
notice-
great scene.
Did you guys notice the 10 Bo Derek poster on the wall?
Yes.
That they didn't put over the giant patching and hole on the wall?
Well, why would they? That's the point, that they're dumb.
Yes, funny stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
my
man.
goodness. All right. On their way to Aspen, Harry and Lloyd have several misadventures. They stop at a diner for food, and Harry gets his burger spat on by Seabass, played by
Yeah.
Cam Neely, after Harry unintentionally threw a salt shaker at him. Harry and Lloyd try to reconcile with Seabass and his friends by offering to buy them all beers, but Lloyd decides to put the beers as well as some other items on Seabass's account, and they manage to escape only to be briefly pulled over by a police officer, Harlan Williams, in Pennsylvania. And yes, he drinks a bottle with pee in it.
Harlan
Disgusting.
Williams is one of the funniest stand-up comedians that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
He's been
super
around
funny.
for so long. He was in a movie called oh crap. Now I can't. Now I wish I wasn't so high. Um,
Well, it
Kelsey-
doesn't matter.
Kelsey Gray. No, he played a submarine sonarman in
Periscope down.
Periscope.
Down Periscope.
One of the funniest movies. I'd love to do a cast on that.
I loved him in Employee of the Month.
Yeah.
Harlan Williams is just so funny with the sound effects. When he drank from the bottle of pee and he made that dolphin sound, it's like that used to be part of his stand-up because he does the exact same thing in Down Periscope.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He did the same thing, the dolphin, the whale sounds. But as soon as he did that dolphin sound after drinking from the pee bottle, I'm like, oh my God, that's so funny.
Did you guys notice in the diner the book that the waitress was reading?
No.
The book says, "Of course you're angry."
Yes, that's it. Of course you're angry.
And did you notice that the diner was called Truck Stop? TRUK.
Yeah, I did.
TRUK.
You know, the C is silent.
Obviously, that sign was done by you.
The C is silent. So, fun story. You'll notice that Seabass spits the lungi in in Harry's burger.
Yes.
So I had done this exploratory program for the VOTEC. In high school, I've already made it clear that I didn't make it out of the 9th grade. So I started off.
What, they kick you out?
No, they let me go. They showed me the door.
No, they kick you out.
So I had done
it was a mutual parting of ways.
I had done like a month or something in like they gave you 4. You could try woodworking, electronics, blah 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 blah, whatever. So
I did the same thing.
Yeah, so I was there for a minute. I actually ended up quitting regular high school because I only stayed at the Vogue for a second. But anyway, we would go. The Vogue Tech kids would go over and have lunch over at the North High School fucking commissary, whatever. And
Cafeteria.
Oh my God.
I got a cheeseburger. This is a true story. God's honest true story. So I got a cheeseburger and I got up to go get like a condiment or something. I came back and I took a big bite of the burger and all the kids were laughing. They had all spit in my burger. So I ate one bite and was like, ugh! And, yeah, they were all laughing. I picked it up and it was like, it was a horror fucking show. It was a horror show under the bun.
Dude, you must have been so popular.
Not at that point.
Wow. You just really don't care if you share, do you?
No.
No. He's going to show it all.
I want to show it all.
Oh, boy. Days later, Harry and Lloyd pick up one of the thugs, Joe Mentolo, or Mentalino, however you say it.
Mentalino?
Is Mentolo the thing from King of Queens? The
Mentolo. Absolutely. The Mentolo head.
Wow.
I was like, where did I get Mentolo from? King of Queens.
The Mentolo head.
Oh my God. Okay. Going ahead. Joe Mentalino, who says that his car broke down, and the other thug, JP, follows them once he drives off with them. When the trio stop at a restaurant for lunch, Lloyd and Harry inadvertently kill Mental by putting hot peppers on his burger. Then instead of giving him his ulcer pills, they give him the rat poison he was planning on giving them. So at this point, they drive on after leaving the dead body in their wake, and they wind up separating when Lloyd accidentally takes a wrong turn and drives them to Nebraska instead of Colorado. With the two virtually out of gas and Harry being infuriated by Lloyd's mistake, he begins to walk home, but Lloyd is able to trade the van for a small scooter, and he catches up with Harry, and the two proceed to Aspen.
I love it. I want to say, too, how fucking, again, some of this physical comedy that Jim Carrey's pulling off, like in the diner, when Seabass is...
I was going to say, when he eats the hot pepper and he squeezes...
No, when Seabass is coming up going, who threw the salt? And Harry's looking, and Lloyd's looking out the window but pointing at Harry like, what the...
He so quickly threw him under the bus. That was so outrageous.
Great. And then they show afterwards, they're sitting at the table. He's like, oh man, you really wussed out, huh?
I thought one of my favorite moments was when they do the hot pepper challenge and, Harry's just squeezing the mustard and the ketchup directly onto his tongue.
So
And then Jim Carrey gets the bottles.
Yeah, and he squeezes them, and they're going straight up in the air, and he's going,
Oh, that was so good. This helps. This helps.
again, you give the two actors the exact same prop, and what Jim Carrey did with it was 10 times funnier than what Jeff Daniels did with it.
True
I
enough.
can only imagine how full those bottles must have been because, man, he barely squeezed them, and those things shot up like the fountain at Caesar's Palace.
Fucking hilarious. So let's just a quick spin around. Delin, who's an actor you would pick to replace Jeff Daniels?
Oh, I don't know. You got to think any kind of big lumbering guy could have done the deed. You know, it's like,
Yeah, you know who I'm seeing? And we actually saw it. How about you take out Jeff Daniels and put in Simple Jack?
oh Jesus,
Simple
no,
Jack.
no.
Simple Jack from fucking what's the movie?
Tropical Thunder or Tropic Thunder.
Thunder.
Yeah.
No.
How about you?
You know who I could see doing it? You know who I
Who?
could see doing it? Who's
Who?
and also another Farrelly Brothers movie.
Who?
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, huh?
I can
I'm not
see
sure.
that.
I'm not sure. How about
Well, think of Woody from the series Cheers and how
Yeah.
fucking stupid he was. He can
Might work.
play stupid really well.
Might work. I mean, you could also see we saw him in Kingpin. I mean, that's almost the same character.
Right. That's what made me think of him.
Yeah, almost the same character. No, well, I'm thinking about the other one, not Woody Harrelson's character, but
the
yeah,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Ish.
ish,
Yes.
yeah,
What's his name?
almost, yeah, almost the same character. How about Kramer from Seinfeld?
Nah.
No.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's. All right.
Let's.
Oh shit. Shit, I'm out of coffee.
Oh no, that's it. We're gonna lose Pat.
Pack another.
No. I've already got the bowl going.
Oh boy.
So
Pulling
what'd you
to
say?
Aspen.
What'd
I'm
you say today that cracked me up? When we were sitting on the couch and I fucking talked some shit to you, said something funny.
I forget. It's just a stupid thing that I like to mock him back because he'll say something like, "Ooh, you shouldn't do that." I'm like, "You shouldn't do that." It's just
she
stupid.
said something today. She fucking hit it right on the head. It was a 5 rewatch fucking comeback. I actually looked at her with tears rolling down my face and went, 5 rewatches. 5 rewatches. All right, go ahead.
I've said
Pulling
it
it-
before. I got to say it again.
Oh, please do.
I would just love to be a fly on the wall of your house sometime.
Well, I mean, that's basically what this podcast is.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
basically, yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're right.
my
Okay, so
Lord.
I guess I'm getting my wish.
Yes,
Yes.
you are.
Thank
So,
God.
pulling into Aspen with frozen snot on their faces, they're unable to remember Mary's last name and find themselves at loose ends. So, they spend a cold night in the park. When Lloyd reveals he's been wearing 2 pairs of gloves the whole time that Harry's fingers have been getting frostbitten, they end up in a scuffle and in the process discover that the briefcase is filled with a lot of cash. The two decide to spend it responsibly and keep track of all their spending with IOUs. But despite the promise to be careful, they spend like madmen. After checking into a luxury hotel, they buy a Lamborghini Diablo. They have full body makeovers, get expensive gaudy 70s style tuxedos, sky blue for Harry and orange for Lloyd, complete with matching top hats and canes. Mary ends up befriending Harry at the benefit, whose stupidity she mistakes for intentional humor. Harry and Lloyd both mistake Mary's friendship with Harry as romantic interest, and this belief leads to friction between the two friends. So this includes the scene, the skiing scene
Yeah.
with Harry getting his tongue stuck to the thing.
Well, we skipped over 2 scenes that I think need to be talked about. So
Okay.
they stop at the hotel at this little love hotel with the heart-shaped tub.
Oh,
So
yeah.
first of all,
Well, that's way back because that's before they kill Mental.
right, but I love when Mental punches the guy out through the glass in the payphone.
Oh,
Fucking-
how can you be so stupid as to see this guy on the phone? He's gotta have you by 100 pounds, and you're antagonizing him like a little pussy.
Oh,
I'm
this is
like,
great.
as I'm seeing this go on, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
So, also now we're going to get the scene where Harry is telling Lloyd about his girlfriend that cheated on him and left him. Now, Her last name is Felcher. I think they did this on purpose. I'm not going to get into it, but I suggest everybody at home check out what felching is.
Oh, don't
Oh,
tell people to
no.
Google something like that. What is wrong with you?
Well, I think that's what the Farrelly brothers were going for there.
Yeah, but this was like pre-internet. Like, don't
right, well,
don't
would
tell
you
people
like-
to Google that.
Would you like me to just tell them what it is?
No,
Please don't.
no. It's a sexual thing. Leave it at that. Don't.
Well, it would have to be.
Don't be sullying your browsers by Googling something like that because some idiot on a podcast told you to.
Let's just say it has to do with a straw. Okay.
Des, you are so far from an influencer, nobody should be listening to you at all.
Okay.
Other than to listen to make you laugh. That's it.
Now, we did not watch the uncut version of this movie, but in the uncut version, when Seabass breaks in to the bathroom stall on Lloyd, where it says, be here at 12:05 for man on man love.
That play was so good. It's the play on the old for a good time. Call this number. But now it's a specific time and date.
He looks at his watch and it's the exact time and date, which is fucking hilarious in itself. And then Seabass kicks the door and he's huddled in the corner going, "Take me to my happy place, take me to my happy place, take me to my happy place." And so in the uncut version, Seabass drops his pants and his underwear down to his ankles. And he's wearing a tiny little leopard thong. And he's got these huge pubes that are like hanging out of it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, pretty funny. So I just thought that those scenes, and also in the bathtub scene where Harry and Lloyd are in the bathtub together, the little heart tub.
Mm-hmm.
Lloyd says something to Harry like, "I'd split you from the backside," and he's getting graphic about how and it's really odd, I guess, but it wasn't in the scene we saw. And Harry starts getting all uncomfortable, like, "What are you talking about?" So
I think I'm glad that I skipped that part.
Yeah, so do I.
I wish I had seen that.
I did like the way that Lloyd reacted to the name Felcher.
Yeah.
Felcher. Oh,
I mean,
you know her well. You've talked about her.
Yeah.
Well, what's really funny to me is speaking of the Seabass scene was I remembered the kick his ass Seabass scene. I remembered all that, but I forgot the scene in the bathroom. And I'm thinking to myself, Tam Neely, the president of my Boston Bruins. Oh my God. At the time he wasn't doing much, I guess. But
I guess.
So Pat,
I thought the time and the date being so specific.
Oh, so good.
Was a riot. And
good.
The look of fear and shock on Lloyd's face when he looks at the watch, March 25th, and the hand hits 2:15, and the camera goes back to his face, and it's like, oh no.
So fucking good.
That was
Pat,
so good.
Now that you've seen this movie and you've seen Kingpin, you can really see the parallel between the two scenes with Cam Neely and Roger Clemens.
I had made a note of it because you've got Seabass and you've got Skidmark.
I think Seabass kicks Skidmark's ass every day.
When I made the correlation, I'm like, I had to Google it because I don't know, everything the Farrelly brothers have done. And it took both names to link those two movies together because Peter Farrelly directed this one, but they both wrote it.
Yeah, right. And if you think about it, something about Mary, they got Brett Favre too.
Yes.
So they must pull in. They just must pull in a celebrity like that, a sports celebrity in every movie. I guess it's like part of their shtick.
Yeah,
now, Pat, you've never seen Something About Mary either, correct?
I have not.
Oh, God. What?
Yeah, what? That's a good one. That's a good one. That's one we're gonna have.
I think that might be my favorite Farrelly brothers movie.
We'll put it on the list.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm with you, Dylan. I think that one might be right up there. It's it's got Ben Stiller, which is as one of my favorite comedic actors.
Yes.
It's got Matt Dillon, one of my favorite actors. Period.
Cameron Diaz is good in it.
Cameron Diaz is great, even though her breath smells like sour milk.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Stop it. You don't know
So
her.
I did have a question. At the Inferno, when they're there having the burgers, so Mentolo finds out that
Mentalino.
they have no idea who the briefcase belongs to. So at this moment now, he knows that these are just he spent enough time with them to just know they're fucking idiots and they're trying to return this briefcase. They have no idea what's inside it, right?
Yes.
He could have said, "Oh, what a coincidence. I was on my way to Aspen. Mary Swanson is a friend of mine. I can take you there." And they could have just driven there together. They could have handed the briefcase over and the two fucking, the two guys could have been going on their merry way. But instead, he's going to choose to pull off a risky hit and kill them. There's no reason to at this point.
Well, that's also because there's no reason, and I had to make note of this too, because the first time I saw it, I'm like, why the hell did they do this? Why was it necessary for Mentalino to pretend the car was broken down to ride with Harry and Lloyd just to have his ridiculous, inept partner follow them? Why
No,
didn't they
okay.
just follow them?
This is why, and you'll get this from watching other mob and gangster movies. So he says as much too. You can't whack a guy unless you know who he is.
Yeah, I noted
Because like
that.
we learned in The Departed with Mickey, there's some guys you can hit and there's some guys you can't. So they didn't want to whack these guys and then find out they're made men. And now you're
Because
fucked.
then you're dead.
So he wanted to take the ride with them and feel them out and find out, who they were. And I want to say something too, real quick at this point in the podcast. I'm proud of you guys because last week we made a rookie mistake and we did dodgeball. And though it was funny and I did enjoy the podcast, we were just kind of like going through it and just doing the old, impersonating line by line by line.
Right.
And we didn't really give a lot of insight to the movie or our thoughts or character building or anything there, which is fine. But I'm glad that we attacked this one from a different angle because I just think it's more interesting.
Thank you.
It can still be funny. That's obvious, but it has to be more than that to actually make you want to listen to the rest of it.
Yeah, because I listen to every podcast on Monday at work just to, for quality control, if you will. Plus, I enjoy the podcast. I mean, as goofy as that may sound, since it's me, I enjoy listening to the podcast. And I did find the dodgeball one to just be a little bit, little flat when it came to it. Yeah, a little redundant. It was just kind of like hearing us say the jokes over and over. It's like, yeah, we didn't tell them as good as the original cast. But I will say the Disaster Piece Theater was fucking epic.
Oh, no question. No question.
So anyway, just to the listeners, we're going to be trying to be more conscious of that when we're doing these kind of like mindless comedies that, you just got to dig in a little deeper when you're doing the write-up.
And that was very difficult for me because I got to admit, this just wasn't one of my favorite movies.
Right.
But being the trooper and bringing the game, I muddled through it.
Which
Also,
one?
I was going to say, the scene in Dante's Inferno or whatever it is in the place with the hot peppers.
You had it right.
So he says to them, enjoy your lunch. I'm going to use the phone.
Yeah.
If he has now learned these are not made men, he's now learned he's pretty much in no danger.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, instead of the hit, you don't. All you have to do is go out to the van and take the briefcase. They didn't even have it with them.
Right, exactly.
Just take the briefcase and walk away, get into the car with the girl and drive away. And they would come out and be like, what happened? Ooh.
But then you wouldn't have the scene where Lloyd and Harry are like 7-year-olds putting hot peppers in his burger and causing him to have a problem so they can feed him the rat poison.
Yes, right. It's this thing that I do where like I'll say to Des, well, why didn't they just do this? Like that doesn't make any sense. And he goes, because then it wouldn't be a movie. The movie would be over.
Right. That was the same thing as me wondering why the hell the two bad guys split up. One rides with them and one follows them. It just,
I think Mentalo takes the briefcase and they drive off, and Lloyd and Harry see him and they're like, he's taking Mary's briefcase, and they jump into the car and they give chase. Like you could have made it a whole scene, but just me.
They're too stupid. They would somehow lose him, and that would be the end of it.
I like my idea the best, where he just says, I know Mary, I'll take you there. We'll get the briefcase back to her and we'll get
going together would have been a good storyline. But then you wouldn't have the scene with Lloyd and Harriet are being children.
Yeah.
And I mean, and let's not forget Lloyd saying, "I know CPR," grabbing the
so
legs, out with the in, out with the bad,
Dude,
in with the good,
the
out with the
look-
bad, in with the good. And
the
he's
look
not.
on Lloyd's face when he's pounding on his chest.
Oh yeah.
He's insane in this. Don't fight it. It's easier if you don't
It's
fight
easier if you just lay there.
it.
So
Okay.
you wouldn't have been able to have any of that
Yeah.
if they had traveled together.
True enough.
Oh god. When Lloyd gets off the fucking scooter when they first pull into Aspen and fucking Harry is like piss frozen to his back.
Oh, that was warm.
Oh, it was great. All right, keep rolling.
Are we rolling?
Yeah, keep rolling.
You don't want to talk about the matching tuxedos, the Lamborghini?
No, we didn't bring
views?
that up.
Do it. Do it.
Just them getting ready to go to the ball.
The toenails.
They're going.
The
Oh
toenails.
dear God! I made note of that. That was. I mean, I almost threw up in my mouth a little when they
Yeah.
showed that scene because I was like, "Holy cow! Is that Frodo? Wow!"
So, fun fact: I have a very, very hairy nostrils, and I have
Not like they do. Not like they do.
I don't know, Dylan. What do you think?
He's giving them a run for their money.
So I have this
Wow.
little machine that Dylan bought me. You know, I stick it up in my nose, and yeah, those little fur piles.
I loved when they're getting their hair cut, and Jim Carrey actually has a bowl on his head for the bowl cut.
It's fucking
Oh, it's a
awesome.
pudding bowl. 100%.
Pudding bowl. And
what
when
is it?
their hair is all prettied up, and the two girls look at each other like, "Yeah, great job." They look at each other and they all muss their hair up again. I'm like, yeah,
So
this
good.
is just who
Said
they
that
are.
the cop called him a pumpkin-headed motherfucker. What did he call him?
Oh, you little pumpkin-headed, I don't know, pumpkin hair-cutted. It's so funny.
It was
You've been hitting Grandpa's juice?
Yeah.
That was
It was-
Harlan Williams. He did
it looks
that.
like the top of a jack-o'-lantern that pops off.
Harlan Williams, that is right out of
Aw.
his stand-up. I when he threw those lines out, I'm like, wow, this is deja vu because he does that sound with his voice and the voice changing. And, oh, you're hitting Grandpa's hooch a little bit there, Sonny?
Yeah.
No, so in these scenes though, like so now we're gonna get a little part of this movie where Harry is hanging out with Mary.
Yes.
I didn't find these scenes to be unusually entertaining. Like
No.
when they're skiing and making the snowman and this tongue to the railing. And
Well, the snowball fight was great because
It
it got
was-
violent. That
it
was hysterical.
Okay. It was okay.
I
Come
gotta be
on,
honest
man,
with you,
he's-
Mary, I'm like, okay, I didn't like that. We will not be seeing each other again. I wouldn't be inviting him back over that night.
I mean, she's charmed by him because he's obviously like a buffoon. He's harmless. She thinks he's rich. I mean, he's driving a Lamborghini, staying at the fucking presidential suite in town. So she obviously thinks he's got money and he's just like this dumb, helpless dude. But I just didn't find Jeff Daniels entertaining enough to carry these scenes to where I was enjoying myself watching this part of the movie. I needed Lloyd on the screen with Harry for Harry to work for me.
Yeah, this did not survive my phone test.
No, mine neither. And without you put any other actor in is Lloyd, and this movie is fucking terrible. Terrible. Like it's because Jeff Daniels is not pulling it off, in my opinion.
Yeah,
only
Jim Carrey
pulling-
carried it.
Yeah, he's only pulling it off because Jim Carrey is so good. It's making Harry work because you like the idea of these two stupid friends
Playing
it's-
off of each other.
Yes, but it's only because Lloyd is so good because when I'm getting Lloyd by himself, I'm still laughing and I'm still liking it. Like, for instance, all right, perfect example. The beginning of the movie, we're going to get Lloyd and Mary for the first 5 minutes. I'm laughing out loud. These scenes are fucking hilarious.
I almost peed when he fell off the jetway.
Absolutely.
And then only to talk to Harry and say that he fell off it again. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, how many times does this idiot fall off jetways?
Yeah. So these first 4 or 5 minutes of the movie, I'm fucking laughing out loud. I'm loving it. You know, my love, and you know, all this stuff is great. But then we're gonna get a same 5 minutes between Harry and Mary, and I'm fast forwarding it past this. I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah. I
Okay.
didn't find, and I'm not saying anything bad about the girl that's playing Mary,
No,
but I just
it was
didn't
fine.
find it to be overly exciting.
No, I mean, if I watch this movie again right now, I would watch the entire opening sequence in the limousine because it's one of my favorite parts of the movie. But I would absolutely fast forward it past the montage of Mary and Harry at the skiing date.
Yeah,
So
no. Harry was best when he was with Lloyd. I mean,
yeah.
just look at them when they're getting to the ball in their ridiculous tuxedos.
Oh, and they're whipping the shit.
And they're hitting each other. And Jeff Daniels gives and Harry gives Lloyd a samurai swipe at the back of the legs and
Oh,
drops
so
him to
good.
his knees.
So good.
Oh,
Yeah.
time
very
out.
funny.
They're like kids. Time out.
Yeah. And then Lloyd sprays the banaka in that guy's face.
Oh man,
This is
the first time he missed, I laughed because he reacted like he actually got it in his mouth and it tasted good.
He
But
does
when
it
he
every
did it
time.
the second, and he did it the second time and he blasted into his host's face, I almost cried out. I was so funny.
Yeah, it's
And again, he's like licking his lips like it tastes good, and it didn't even get close to his mouth.
I love the so you get these two owls, and the guy says this is 1/7 of the population in the entire world.
There's
So
like 14 owls in the
there's
world.
14 of these owls in the entire world. They're about to fucking whack one with a cork.
Oh man, the best part of it is when you see Lloyd opening up that champagne bottle, you knew right away he was going to hit somebody with that cork. There was
Oh, yeah.
absolutely no question. What I did not see coming was him hitting one of the owls.
Oh, I knew he
did
was gonna
not
get an
see
owl.
the owl getting hit.
No, as soon as the guy said this is 1/7 of the population in the entire world, I'm like, I'm surprised that he didn't kill both of the owls.
and here and further into the scene, you get a view of how inept these bad guys were because they literally thought the killing of the owl was retribution for the killing of the parakeet.
Right.
You
Yes.
kill my bird, so I'm going to kill your bird. I'm listening to this. I'm like, you have got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah. Well, what we're gonna learn here is so basically this is a rich guy trying to pull a scam on a rich family that he's in cahoots with.
Right.
So
I mean, I
this
don't even
guy-
know if he's rich. I think he might be just a con man.
Well, he is a con man, but he's obviously rubbing elbows with the rich up
Yeah.
in Aspen. So this guy is not like a flushed out criminal. He's a guy
No.
that's looking to take advantage of some rich people. So he has now hired these two thugs from Rhode Island that are also obviously not like real, they're not
They're
smart
inept.
criminals.
They're
Yeah,
inept.
they're just street thugs. They're common criminals. They're scumbags.
Like I said,
So-
everybody was an idiot.
Everybody. So it's just
Everybody.
dumber, 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 dumber.
Yeah.
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 They were the only character that I did not see dumb was Mary.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And Lauren Holly, I don't know how many movies she did before this, but I've seen Lauren Holly in so much.
Yeah.
But one of the movies we were going to try and do, she was in Ford Fairlane. She was
Yes.
in that movie, and dear God, she was stunning. There was a
Oh, yeah.
scene in that movie where she had to show up at a cocktail party, and she looked like she was getting ready to go to the Miss America pageant. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. She is a good looking lady. She put
And you
together.
did get to see a nice peek of cheek.
Oh, no, that was more than cheek. I actually went, whoa. Like he pulls it up a little bit and I'm like, oh.
And then he kept pulling it up.
I was like, that is her entire ass.
That's a
And
full
she is
blown. That's a full moon.
with no underwear.
G-string.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Um,
and I thought to myself the first time I saw this, I'm like, okay, that had to be a body double. And then I saw it the second time, and the scene started with them in an embrace, and you could see it was Lauren Holly.
oh
And
yeah.
the camera pivoted around them and lowered as it was pivoting around them. So I'm like, okay, that was Lauren Holly's ass.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
No, not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, I gotta be who I am. I am what I am.
Hey, guy, I'm a pirate. Okay.
Arr.
Oh, boy. All right. So moving on.
You're not a
When-
pirate.
One night, Lloyd heads to Mary's house to reintroduce himself after feeding Harry a bunch of X-Lax. Harry is
Oh.
stuck in the bathroom on the non-functioning toilet. So Lloyd asks her to come with him to his hotel to return the briefcase. Shortly after, the two are found by the man behind the kidnapping plot, Nicholas Andre, played by Charles Rocket. He's a longtime confidant of the Swanson family who holds the two in the hotel room at gunpoint. When Lloyd reveals all the money is gone, replaced by IOUs, the kidnapper freaks out and handcuffs Mary and Lloyd on the bed. Harry comes into the hotel room and is also put on the bed. Harry demands to Andre that he shoots him first. Andre does, and as Lloyd is about to be killed, Harry rises back up from the proverbial dead and shoots a gun at Andre, though all of the shots miss. The FBI rushes into the room interceding, and it is revealed that the FBI was aware of Andre's presence in the kidnapping scheme all along and had equipped Harry with a gun and a bulletproof vest as he entered the hotel. Mary is reunited with her husband, much to Lloyd's dismay, who didn't even realize that Mary was married.
I have to say, as they're getting ready, as he's getting ready to shoot one of them, and Harry stands up and says, "Shoot me, shoot me! I deserve it." I can't remember what he admitted to.
To Bangin' Felcher.
Bangin' Felcher. And Jim Carrey is like, "Okay, tell him."
I'm all right, shoot him first.
Oh, that was awesome. Awesome.
So this scene plays a little bit like the scene in Pulp Fiction. So one of the dipshits in Pulp Fiction pulls the gun out. He jumps out of the closet and he shoots like 15 shots at Samuel L. Jackson and Travolta and misses with every single shot. So this is kind of the same scene we're getting. I don't know which movie came first, but
you're alive and you're a terrible shot.
And I love, so Harry says to Lloyd says to Harry, "So what if they shot you in the face?"
What if they shot me in the face?
The FBI agent says that was a chance we were willing to take.
Oh, it was so good.
And just so you know, Pulp Fiction, 1994, same year.
Oh, I wonder which one got it first, because it was a very, very similar scene.
I mean, I don't know. Can you really compare Pulp Fiction to Dumb and Dumber?
Yes, this scene I am going to.
Oh, God.
Well, then you can compare it to every other scene where 1,000,000 bullets are fired, nobody gets fucking shot.
Yeah, that's called Star Wars when the stormtroopers are shooting.
Oh, yes, because laser beams always go off target. What the hell? Put that away. Was that Seabass?
I drew a dirty picture and showed it to them on the camera.
Oh, what is wrong with
Seabass.
you?
Oh God, Dylan, you didn't catch that?
No, I've got the doc open. I'm not watching the thing.
Oh, well, too bad for you.
Oh man.
Well, I'm so sad I missed the dirty picture.
Yeah, trust me, you didn't miss much.
I'll bring it downstairs.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, where were we?
Goodness. So we're wrapping up. With no money, the two begin to walk home. Along the way, they inadvertently turn down a chance to be oil boys for the Hawaiian Tropic Bikini team, sending them instead to a nearby town. Harry reassures Lloyd that someday we'll get our breakthrough. We've just got to keep our eyes open. And that's the end for our dumb heroes.
Okay, I need to bring something up from an earlier scene this was right up. This is where I'm surprised Des didn't bring it up.
Oh, wait, exactly.
When Lloyd is confessing his love to Mary, and she's obviously not in the room because you can tell right away because he's being way too, and he's going on, "Oh, I feel like a schoolboy, and the schoolboy wants to make mad, passionate love to you." And when Mary shows up, he gets so flustered. What comes out? "Mary, I desperately want to make love to a schoolboy."
She's like, okay.
Oh my God. I almost fell out of my chair. I was like, because you could see he was struggling to get out what he just said 2 minutes ago.
What's the chance of a girl like me ending up with a guy like you?
1 in a million. So you're saying there's a chance.
So good. So we did miss a scene that is going to trigger a story that I may have told on the podcast before. I'm not sure. So Harry is going to have a date with Mary at 8:00 at night, and Lloyd finds this out by spying on them.
Yeah, and I said he gave him a bunch of X-lax. I said it.
Yeah, so he gives them a bunch of X-lax, of course. All right. So I may have told the story, so I won't make it long. But
oh God, I know where this is going.
I was having stomach troubles. So I had gone to the store and bought what I thought was like Mylanta, like a soothing coating heartburn.
He thought it was like Pepto-Bismol, because Pepto-Bismol is supposed to soothe your entire intestinal tract from mouth to ass, you know.
Yeah. So
So
I
that's what he
bought
thought he
this.
was drinking.
Yeah, so I bought it and it was kind of minty, and so I was drinking it, and my heartburn wasn't going away, and I was still having this like burning sensation in my stomach and stuff. So I kept drinking it and drinking it. So I
Oh,
did this for about 2 days, and
Oh, it was longer than that. It was more like 4 days.
I was
yeah, if
I
I
was
remember right, I remember hearing about the complaints for quite a few days.
I got really sick, like really sick. Like I started having like the kind of diarrhea that makes you wonder if you were like terminally ill. Okay. I was losing weight. I was shitting every fucking hour on the hour. And I said to Dylan, I think we need to go to the hospital. I think there's like a problem. And she was like, well, what have you been eating? What have you changed? And I said, well, the only thing is I've been taking this for my heartburn, but I still have my heartburn. And I had been drinking fucking
Milk
uh
of magnesia, laxative.
I had been
Mhm.
drinking laxative for 4 days. And it's like, take 2 teaspoons like twice a day.
And he was like
Okay,
chugging
so
out of this
you're so
bottle.
so you were Harry
Yeah.
because one of my favorite parts of the scene was as Lloyd is getting ready to pour this Turbolax
Oh yeah.
into the tea, and he's doing a commercial. Just a teaspoon will
Just a
make you
teaspoon.
regular. And he's pouring in at least half the bottle. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, this
So
this is gonna be deadly.
in 4 days, I probably drank like a year's worth of this shit. Like this bottle probably would have lasted a family like a year. And
I'm amazed you're still alive.
I drank most of it in like 4 days, and I was really sick. So people out there, be careful.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what labels are for, fake kids. Read the
Well,
labels.
so this is something that is something that happens with Des is that he does not read the label. He does not pay attention to what he's doing. He just thinks he knows what he's doing and just does it without asking or reading the label or taking a minute. Like
Okay.
legitimately, I bought him a bottle of retinol face cream because it's good for wrinkles and things like that. But you're supposed to use it like 2 or 3 times a week at night before you go to bed. He was using it like 3 times a day and couldn't figure out why his face like went like completely like crusty because he was exfoliating his face 3 times a day.
I chemical burned my face, and
Yes.
I woke up one morning and I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Something wrong with my face." Ah. So I've got really good skin. Like I never get acne. Don't get pimples. I never have. It's just one of those things. So I've noticed the last couple of days. I'm like, "Fuck, I fucking got a pimple." I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And then I got like another pimple. I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" I told Delin, so yesterday morning, and Delin's an esthetician, in case you guys want to know. So I said, I've got these fucking 2 pimples on my face. Fucking never get pimples on my face. So I'm like,
And I thought he had just like put something dirty against his face because that happens. If your hand's dirty and you rest your face on your hand, the next you can give yourself a pimple. It happens.
Of
I
course.
said, my new routine is I like to take some coconut lotion and I rub it on my face in the morning and I splash water on it and then I wipe my face off when I wake up in the morning. Don't do that at home, people.
Yeah. It's coconut is communogenic. It will clog your pores. So he
Yeah.
was giving himself pimples.
Yeah. So if you're at home, don't drink laxative for heartburn and don't put fucking retinol on your face 3 times a day.
And go out in the sun.
Okay, you know what?
Don't wash your face with
This
coconut oil.
this actually explains the mystery I was never able to solve.
Oh God.
Why
was?
there were directions on a shampoo bottle.
Yeah.
Now I know why.
Yep. And
Because
there's a
people
saying
like
that
Des exist in this world.
oh yeah, there's a saying that I love that's saying that it goes like this. It goes, I'm not saying we should kill all the stupid people. I'm just saying let's take the warning labels off everything and let it sort itself out.
Oh, that's a comedian's line.
Yeah.
I've heard that line. That's a stand-up comedian line. And I want to say it's like it's in along. It could be Bill Burr,
Maybe.
or it could go
It's
far
true.
enough
Like,
back.
let's do it.
It
Oh,
could go
God.
far enough back to Dennis Leary.
Oh, maybe.
Okay. All right. So
All right, before we wrap this up, I have to make note of this because this was great. We're watching Lloyd and Harry in their posh hotel room, and they're crying while watching a Pacific Bell commercial.
oh, it's the
Yes.
best.
And as soon as I see it's Pacific Bell, I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. and they're wiping the tears with $100 bills.
Yes,
So
they
good.
are.
But
So
Yes,
good.
they are.
the best line in the movie, as far as I'm concerned, you've got your mixed breed dogs, and I wrote this down just to set this up. You've got your Labradoodle, which is a cross between a Labrador and a poodle, and now you have the mating of a bulldog and a Shih Tzu, and you get a bullshit.
Very funny. Very funny.
That is the best line that Jeff Daniels delivered in the entire movie.
Yeah, but my favorite Jeff Daniels moment in this is when he looks at Lloyd during the
Stamina
the
Capistrano.
Stamina Capistrano, and he has that look on his face, like, huh? Like he actually delivers a moment of comedic timing that worked for me. And then at the end, we're gonna get the oil ladies. They wanted to oil them up, whatever. They stop the bus. The town is actually that way, and the studio wanted them to get on the bus, but the Farley brothers said no. They wanted it to end the way it ended, and it did. And for me, I loved it. I loved the way it ended.
It was great because when they first give the girls directions, you say to yourself, "Oh my God, what the fuck? Are you nuts?" And then you think they suddenly had a lucid moment and they're chasing the bus. Wait, only to redeem their stupidity by telling them they're going in the wrong direction.
Okay, so here we go. Pat, what is your rewatch score for Dumb and Dumber?
I thought this was going to be a really bad movie. I'd never seen it before. The first time I watched it, I was like, wow. The second time it got funnier, so I'm going to give it a 3.
A 3 from Pat. Dylan, what is your rewatch score for Dumb and Dumber?
Like as I said, it didn't pass my phone score like quite a few times. Unfortunately, I was having a hard time with it holding my attention, and as you pointed out, a lot of that was during Harry's scenes. It didn't hold my attention that much, so I'm gonna give it a 2. It's funny. Yeah, I'm giving it a 2. I'm giving it a 2 because do you want me to give you my real score, or do you want me to to make you feel better?
Nope. The 2 is good.
Because yep, Jim Carrey's funny, and back when this movie came out, it was funny, but it's not so funny anymore. It's a little infantile, and that's how I feel about it. I kept having to rewind it because I realized I'd been looking at my phone for the past 15 minutes.
Holy shit. Okay, so that's a 3 from Pat, a 2 from Dylan. Okay, so much like with Kingpin, before I push play, because it had been quite a few years since I've seen this movie, I remembered this being a perfect movie. It wasn't. And as I was watching it, I'm like, all right, it's like a 4.75. And then it's like a 4.5. That's like a 4. By the time it was over, I was somewhere right around just because Jim Carrey was so fucking good in it, I'm going to give this I want to say 3.75, but I think Dylan was unfair, so I'm going to say 4.
Please, you can't do that.
All right, okay. 3.75. It's a 3.75 for me.
And I need to make comment. The reason I gave this a 3 is because my favorite scene, and we touched on this at the beginning of the movie, and we never really got into it when the scene came about. During Lloyd's fantasy of him injecting himself into Mary's life, and they're a couple, the restaurant scene where he's getting ready to fight the cook, that scene, every face he made, every sound he made, the first time I saw it, I couldn't stop laughing.
Oh yeah.
It was just the funniest thing I had ever seen.
Yeah. Be honest now. Have you ever tried to light a fart on fire?
No, I have not.
Oh, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
I have a brain stem. That's why.
So I've done this literally 100 times, and it works. You will blow a Kiss Alive 2 fucking flame out of your ass every single time, and I'll do it for you tonight if you'd like, Dylan.
No.
All right, Dylan, have you ever tried to light a fart on fire?
No.
Thank you.
All right. I'd be interested in how many of our listeners have ever tried to light a fart on fire, and if you say no, you're probably lying. Okay.
I'm not lying. I've never done that.
Wow. Maybe I'm just
I
fucked
never
up.
found the need to try that. I mean,
fucked
of
up.
course it's gonna work. It's
Yeah.
methane gas. Of
Yeah, it's
course
great.
it's gonna work. But
Yeah.
the need to prove it is infantile.
Oh, it's not proving it. It's just fun to do.
No. I mean, that puts you right into the childish games that Lloyd and Harry were playing while Mentalino was stuck in the middle. You first, no, can't go backsies on it. No, I said no. And it's like, wow, these kids, they're 7 years old. And that's where the lighting the fart comes from.
I hope I'm not alone on an island with all these
Oh, you
memories.
most certainly are.
I
And
don't
you're
think
going
I
to die
am.
like that alone.
I love that Lynn is so disturbed by the shampoo bottle. Actually,
You know what? I don't even know the details of it. And I
Okay.
pray to God that I never do.
I actually have to back this up because
No. Do
it's not a shampoo bottle.
Believe me, you don't have to explain the shampoo bottle.
It's not a shampoo bottle. It was the conditioner bottle. It was much smoother and silkier. Makes the hair soft and smooth.
Okay, Billy Madison, wrap it up.
Please put this to bed already. Put it in the can.
Okay, so with Pat's 3, the Lynn's 2, and mine 3.75, this movie comes out to let's see,
3.25.
3.5, 3.25.
Yeah.
Okay, so for Dumb and Dumber, we're at a 3.25 rewatch score. I think there's people out there that will enjoy this more than 3.25. Me being one of them, but whatever. It was all right.
It depends on your level of tolerance for stupid humor.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't understand why guys like the Three Stooges, but that's a physical stupidity kind of humor.
Yeah.
This was more just infantile stupidity.
Yeah, it got a little old by the end. All right, Dylan, so tell our listeners where they can find the show.
Okay, so if you would like to email us, we are at hey, did you ever see that movie @gmail.com. We are at hey, did you ever see that movie on Facebook. We are at hey, did you ever see that movie on Instagram. We're on Twitter, even though I barely use it because I hate Twitter. But we do have one, so you can message us there or message us anywhere else, and we'll get back to you if you message us.
All right. So listen, if you like the show, we work really hard to put this content out. We're paying for the platform out of our pockets now, trying to make this thing sound better for you guys. We spend so many hours a month putting this thing out. So all we ask, if you like the show, is that you share it with your friends, you give it a good review, and you just help us grow it so we can continue doing it and try to make it even better for you guys. So
feedback helps, good or bad.
Helps. Yeah. So, so just mostly just try and share the show. If you're on Facebook, share it with your friends that you think might like it. If you're at work and someone who likes movies, fucking say, hey, check out this fucking podcast. It's absolutely off the rails.
And that's the God's honest truth.
Yeah. So, Pat, Lynn, I thought tonight was great. I thought we really brought it for a movie that I thought might be a little difficult to talk about. I thought we really did a great job. So kudos to both of you guys for bringing your A games tonight. As always, I love watching movies from different sides of the house with you, Lynn, and talking about them. Pat, you were on your fucking game tonight. Great show.
I think the coffee was the key.
Yeah. Next week, we're going to be back with Mickey again, where we're going to be reviewing Bridesmaids. And I'm looking forward to this one because this is a very funny movie. We're going to be back after that with Pat doing Office Space. Am I correct?
I thought we said it was Lethal Weapon 4.
Okay, you're right. Lethal Weapon 4. Then we're going to be back after that with Tony doing Big Trouble in Little China.
Or The Thing, one or the other.
Nope, it's Big Trouble in Little China. He's already said.
I've seen that movie. I'm so looking forward to the podcast because I've seen that movie a dozen times. It's one of Kurt Russell's best roles.
I've never seen it.
I think you'll love it.
Then we're going to be doing Boondock Saints with Mickey. We got some good ones coming up. And then I want to do something about Married with Pat, but we have to figure out if that's on a platform that we can use right now. So that's it. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for listening to the show. And until next time, I got one question for you. Hey, did you ever see that movie? See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. We're professionals. This is what we do.
I'm going to start this thing the second I get it
Wait
wrong.
a second, to be a professional, don't we have to get paid?
No.
No, not necessarily.
I've got $5.86 in our fucking Anchor account that I could split up between the fucking five of us.
Well, I mean, it's all from Mickey, so.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
you
Red
guys,
Chalupa.
are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.